Ever settle into a train seat and just sink in? You know that plush comfort, the sturdy construction? It's easy to take that for granted.
It is. It really is.
But trust me, there's a whole lot of craftsmanship hidden in those cushions.
Oh, yeah. A lot more goes into it than people realize. It's a craft that goes way beyond aesthetics, that's for sure.
And that is what we are diving into today.
We are.
The world of railway car upholsterers.
A fascinating world it is.
You sent us some really interesting material from RoleCatcher. This platform...
Right, RoleCatcher.
Yeah, this platform focused on career development, and it seems like they really get into the nitty-gritty of what these skilled tradespeople do.
They do. They really do. What I find fascinating here is how RoleCatcher highlights that blend of like traditional skills, using your hands,
Yeah.
and advanced technology in this field. It's not just about needles and thread anymore.
Let's unpack this a little bit. The RoleCatcher guides mention creating templates, operating power tools, even programming CNC machines. This isn't your grandma's sewing circle.
No, it's a far cry from what people might picture. And imagine using a computer-controlled sewing machine to stitch these intricate patterns, but on a massive scale. Or operating a laser cutter to shape those perfectly fitted armrests.
It's mind-blowing. So they're like digital artisans, but with really, really big sewing projects.
Yeah.
And speaking of big bias, the guides emphasize the importance of fire-retardant materials, reinforced seams. It makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Passenger safety has to be top priority.
Absolutely. Think about the specific challenges of a train environment.
Right.
You've got to think about the materials they're using. They might be working with specialized fabrics woven with fire-retardant fibers, or using innovative coatings that maintain the material's feel and breathability. So it's a constant balance between safety and passenger comfort.
And that's just one piece of the puzzle. I'm picturing this whole symphony of specialized roles involved in train manufacturing.
And precisely. You have engineers designing the train structure, welders joining metal components, electricians wiring up the systems, and then you have the railway car upholsterers, meticulously crafting the interiors to be both functional and aesthetically pleasing.
Each one crucial to those trains running smoothly. And comfortably, I might add.
Indeed.
Speaking of comfortably, RoleCatcher's career stages section is really insightful. It seems like there's a clear path for growth within this field.
There is. And there's this misconception that skilled trades offer limited career progression. That's not the case at all.
So you start as an apprentice, maybe focusing on prepping materials, learning the ropes of those high-tech tools.
Yeah.
But then as you gain experience,
You could move into roles involving more complex projects, design collaborations, even leading training sessions for newer upholsterers.
like leveling up your craftsmanship.
It is.
Okay, so we're starting to get a feel for the day-to-day work. But RoleCatcher also mentioned something that's got me really curious. The impact of technology on the future of this field.
And that's where things get even more interesting.
So we've got these amazing craftspeople blending like age-old skills with cutting-edge technology. But what happens when that technology just keeps evolving?
Right.
RoleCatcher seems to hint at some pretty big changes coming up.
It's the million-dollar question, isn't it? How will automation, robotics, all of that reshape the landscape for railway car upholsterers? Is definitely something that RoleCatcher dives into as well.
It's interesting.
It is.
Honestly, when I think about robots in upholstery, my brain goes to those like sci-fi movies where machines are building everything. Are we headed for a future where robots are stitching those intricate train seat patterns?
I mean, it's not pure science fiction anymore. RoleCatcher brings up automated cutting systems, robotic arms assisting with certain tasks. It's already happening.
Okay, so I can see robots handling like those repetitive tasks,
Yeah.
like cutting fabric to precise measurements. But what about the human touch, that eye for detail, knowing just how much give a certain fabric needs? Surely a robot can't replicate that.
That's the crux of the issue. RoleCatcher emphasizes that while automation will undoubtedly change certain aspects of the job, it's unlikely to completely replace the need for skilled human upholsterers.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
You've got to be able to troubleshoot on the fly, adjust to different materials, maybe even get a little creative when a design needs tweaking.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And think about the inspection process.
All right.
Ensuring those high safety standards are met. You need someone who can spot a flaw a machine might miss, someone who understands the why behind each stitch.
It's like that old saying, measure twice, cut once.
Yeah.
Except in this case, it's more like, let the robot cut, but have a human double check it.
Exactly. And that actually highlights a key point RoleCatcher makes about the future of this field. Lifelong learning is more essential than ever. As technology evolves, so too must the skills of the people working alongside it.
So it's less about robots taking over and more about humans and robots collaborating,
Yes,
each playing to their strengths.
exactly. And that constant learning, that adaptability, it's not just about keeping up with the robots. RoleCatcher points out that it also opens up opportunities to specialize, to
Hmm.
become an expert in new techniques and materials.
Which, if you ask me, keeps things interesting.
Right.
It's not your grandpa's upholstery shop anymore.
It's not.
Speaking of which, this whole deep dive has me wondering, what if I wanted to become a railway car upholsterer? What does RoleCatcher say about breaking into this field?
Well, for starters, it seems like a genuine interest in the craft goes a long way. But RoleCatcher offers some pretty practical advice, too.
So let's say I've got that passion for the craft. I'm ready to ditch my podcasting microphone for a high-tech sewing machine. Where do I even begin?
Well, RoleCatcher emphasizes the importance of understanding the fundamentals. It's not just about fancy fabrics and stitching a straight line. It's about structural integrity, knowing your materials, having a meticulous eye for detail.
Right, because a wonky seam on a train seat is a whole different ballgame than, say, a slightly uneven pillow. So how do I show potential employers I've got the right stuff?
RoleCatcher really emphasizes showcasing your problem-solving skills and adaptability. A portfolio of your work, even if it's not train-related, can speak volumes.
A portfolio. Now you're speaking my language. I can
Yes.
already picture it. Photos of perfectly aligned seams, maybe some sketches of innovative designs, a few testimonials from satisfied customers raving about their reupholstered dining chairs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about demonstrating your passion and skill. And this is where it gets really interesting. RoleCatcher highlights how their AI-powered tools can give job seekers an edge.
Okay, you've got my attention. AI can help me land a job as a railway car upholsterer.
It can. I
Ah,
need to hear more.
imagine this. You feed your CV, portfolio, even those job descriptions, into RoleCatcher's system. Their AI analyzes all of it, identifying keywords, highlighting your strengths, maybe even suggesting areas where you could bolster your profile.
So it's like having a personal branding expert and a career coach all rolled into one.
Precisely.
That's incredible. And it underscores something we've been touching on throughout this whole deep dive. Those skills and knowledge possessed by craftspeople, like railway car upholsterers, those are incredibly valuable, even in the face of technological advancement.
It's about humans and technology working together, each playing a vital role. I never thought I'd be this captivated by train upholstery.
It's a hidden world of craftsmanship, isn't it?
It is.
And it makes you think, what other essential crafts are often overlooked? The skilled hands behind the scenes, creating the objects we use every day.
It's a great reminder to pay attention to the details, to appreciate the artistry that goes into the seemingly ordinary. Next time I'm on a train, I'll be looking at those plush seats with a whole new perspective, and maybe even eyeing that upholstery needle with a touch of envy. Thanks for joining us for this fascinating deep dive. We'll catch you on the next one.